This is a PRS, but you probably already knew that. As noted by the headstock here, it's a PRS SE CE. And the one I have here is arguably the best color of the three that they offer, which is charcoal, red, and then this absolutely stunning turquoise. And picking up this guitar with the gig bag, I kind of feel like I got one over on PRS, because there's no way that for $499, you're gonna get a guitar of this quality from a big brand like PRS, right? As much as we would all love for that to be the case, that's just how much this guitar costs brand new, which, don't get me wrong, is still a fantastic offering from PRS. And for me personally, this is the PRS that I've been looking for my entire life. Regular viewers of my channel will know that I have owned a couple of PRSs before in my life. I've owned a Standard 24 way back in the day. That was my very first PRS. It was a SE model as well. Then I also owned the SE Mark Tremonti, which was absolutely fantastic of a guitar. All of those guitars had a couple of things about them that I didn't really care for though, specifically in the neck. But the PRS SE CE solves the problem with the neck that I was having with all of those other ones. And this is probably the best PRS, at least in the SE range, that I've ever played, ever. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go over some specs. We're gonna start with the headstock, as I normally like to do. So again, it says PRS SE CE right there on the truss rod cover. They have the PRS proprietary, just in-house tuners that you would find on really any standard PRS model. They're 18:1 ratio, so they're very precise. You need 18 turns to get one wrap around the peg. Very precise, very nice. Flipping back over to the front here, the nut is just a PRS proprietary nut. I don't know what that means. That's just what it says on Sweetwater's website. So coming down to the neck, this is the part that I said earlier that I had the biggest problem with on PRSs. But why do I not have a problem with it on this one? Well, I'm gonna tell you. So it's a rosewood fingerboard. It's got 24 frets on it. It's got the bird inlays, which I know that's kind of a point of contingency for a lot of people, but I am personally a fan of the birds. And fun fact, you've probably heard this before. If you see the little owl down here, right by the neck pickup, that means you have a 24 fret guitar from PRS. Flipping over to the back of the neck, it is a maple neck. It's advertised as a wide thin, but I don't think that this is very thin. It's wide, not super wide, not uncomfortably wide, but thin, I don't think so. Now, the only reason I'm saying that is because the true wide thin PRS neck, I don't really care for it, or the pattern thin, whatever PRS calls it. I tend to prefer PRS's wider necks. Which was something that I really liked about my Mark Tremonti SE. It had a pretty thick neck on it. But the other thing that I don't really care for is the gloss finish on the back. Which again, another point of contingency for some people, because some people really like gloss, some people really like satin or natural finishes. This one has a beautiful satin finish on the back, so it's nice and smooth. You can probably hear me rubbing against it here. It's very nice, very smooth, feels very comfortable to play. So, check, check, check for me, because it's kind of a wider neck, kind of a thicker neck, and it's got the satin finish on it. So keeping in the satin finish kind of realm here, we're gonna go ahead and move down to the body. So this is a mahogany body finished in this absolutely stunning turquoise satin finish. The grain patterns on this are absolutely stunning, front and back. I'll get some B-roll going for you guys too. You have a super comfy carve away down here at the bottom horn, so access to these upper frets is absolutely amazing. Coming down to the pickups, these are the PRS 8515S pickups, so they're just modeled after their American counterparts, one that you would find in the $2,000+ CE. You have one volume, one tone. The tone pot pulls out so you can split the humbuckers, which I'm typically not a fan of coil splits, coil taps, whatever you want to call it. PRS has always managed to get it right, in my opinion. Three-way switch down here, so bridge, middle, neck, pretty simple. PRS proprietary bridge. It's a great bridge. There's no need to upgrade this or anything. I haven't set up the trim or anything specifically, meaning I haven't gone into the cavity on the back. And I've hammered this thing pretty hard. You even heard it in the demo, and it stayed in tune the entire time. Setting this thing up was a breeze. I mean, you can make all the adjustments down here, the truss rod, all of that works, obviously, but it does set up very nice, makes it a very, very nice guitar for anybody to play. Coming to the back here, again, it is a bolt-on. You have your cavity back here to access your tremolo springs and all that kind of stuff. And then your little heart-shaped cavity down here because PRS loves you, and I love PRS now because of this guitar. That's where you get all your electronics at. So what are my final thoughts, opinions, whatever you want to call it, on the PRS SE CE? I think this guitar is absolutely amazing for a lot of people. It's great for anybody that's never played a PRS before and want to get their feet wet with the brand. Maybe you want to try out a different body shape. Maybe you want to try out just a different brand, like I said before. Whatever. If you're a beginner, these are absolutely right up a beginner's alley to get them playing and playing right. I mean, these things are just great. For $4.99 with a gig bag, a nice gig bag at that, you get the coil taps, you get nice pickups, you get a trim that stays in tune, a real rosewood fingerboard. I mean, you don't see real rosewood on a lot of stuff anymore because everybody's moved to Indian Laurel or Pal Ferro or whatever. The satin neck, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Like I said, it's not too chunky. So I think it would fit most people's hands and most people would pick this up and say, wow, that's a really comfortable guitar. This guitar is a great addition to PRS, to the SE line, and to the guitar world as a whole. I highly recommend going and trying to pick one of these up if you can. Like I said, at the time of recording this video, they are still pretty new. I just found this one by chance hanging on the wall in a store, picked it up, and I bought it because I loved it. And that's something that I always recommend to people because you don't get to do that much these days. Go to a store and try one out if you can. If not, still pick one of these up. I promise you'll love it. Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click my logo somewhere on the screen. That'll help you get subscribed to the channel if you're not already. If you want to check out some of my other videos, there should be some boxes coming up right over here somewhere. You can click one of those. It'll take you right to it. And if you want to support the channel in any other way besides just subscribing, check the link in the description of any of my videos for my Teespring store. You can pick up a shirt, hoodie, sticker, whatever tickles your fancy. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.